Stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can win one of these awesome loot crates from lootcrate.com. On this episode, we're releasing the Wolverine Weapons X Pack from Filmasters. The Wolverine Weapons X Pack comes with 33, that's right, 33 different elements. They're in PNG and PSD, so therefore they keep and retain their transparencies. You can use them in Adobe's After Effects, Premiere Pro, HitFilm, pretty much any type of editing and compositing program that's out there, so you can use them to make these Wolverine effect claws of the claws going in and out. I'm going to use Adobe's After Effects now. I'm going to show you how to create it. However, I'm going to quickly show you what's in the pack first of all. This kit comes with side views, overhead views, and front-on views. Slice and dice your way through this pack now. Download the Wolverine Weapon X Pack free today, located in the description area of this video. This pack was created using real claw elements, captured in high def, on green screen, and then painstakingly sharpened to a fine edge. Never has there been a larger free claw pack available on YouTube. The Weapons X Pack is brought to you by Filmasters. Read the terms and conditions in the zip folder. We hold no responsibility for injuries, cuts, or slashes with this pack. Use at your own risk. Excellent, so let's jump into After Effects really quickly and I'll show you how to don the claws. So we're in Adobe's After Effects now, and the first thing we're going to do as part of our Wolverine Weapon X Pack is we're going to jump straight into it. So I'm going to double select in the project area. We're going to have a look to see what we've got. We've already got all the pre-keyed elements and all different angles. And also I've thrown in two videos. So I'll bring both of those videos in so you can have a look at it. And I'll open up one of them, and this is just the hand clinch from the reverse, so you can practice on that one. And we've also got the front view, which is the one that we're going to be using. So I've selected that video. I'm going to make that a new composition, and now it's on the timeline, as you can see. So one of the first things I want to do is I'm going to open up the pack and have a look at the types of blades. Now, because it's a front-on view, the first thing I'll probably do is just grab the Claw 1 version. However, if you've got a slight angle to your fist, it's just about selecting and matching up the correct Wolverine claws that you want to use. Now, obviously, you can use them for left and right. One suggestion, though, is when you're doing the effect, make sure you don't twist your arm when you're doing it, because if you do that, you're going to not sell this shot virtually. So one thing I want you to do is when you're actually using this pack, when you first make it so the Wolverine claws come out, you simply make it so that the hand obviously can move, but don't twist it. Also, another suggestion as well is get yourself some cheap Wolverine claws. Now, you can buy plastic ones, you can buy metal ones, you can get them on eBay, for example. Now, by doing that, what you do is you cut the CGI stuff with the real stuff. So you'll do the hand movement, and then you might cut to a distant shot or a different angle when you've got the fake ones on. Very similar to what they did in the Wolverine movies. Obviously, they use CGI 3D elements for that one, though. However, with all the fight scenes, obviously, Hugh Jackman had real claws on. So I'm going to select Claw 1, so I'm going to select that, double select it, and bring that in and place that on top. And the first thing I'm going to do, now this is a 4K image, and as you can see, this matches up nicely with 4K. Now we can change the size of the video, so we'll do that anyway. So I'll go down to composition settings, and I'm going to change that to 1440 by 1080, and I'm going to change a pixel aspect ratio to 1.33 and select OK, and that's going to give me that high definition size as well as widescreen. So first of all, I'm just going to adjust the size of my video. So I'm going to make that by pressing S for scale and change that to 50%. And as you can see, the 4K fits in there nicely with a little bit of overlap on the edges. So now you'll see how big the actual claws are, which is great. It gives you more room to play around with them, obviously. So I'm going to, first of all, rotate it and bring it into the right angle that I want, and then press S for scale and just scale it to the size I want. I'm going to drag it over first of all just to make sure it all matches. Now you'll see it's got a nice metal look to it as well, which is great. So you've got reflections on it. And that's obviously all real lighting because these were real claws that I took photos of. So I'm going to hide the claws. And first of all, I'm going to move my hand and see where I want the claws to come out. So I want them to come out about there. So I'm going to press B on my keyboard and it's going to cut down our timeline. It's not going to cut the clip, it's just going to cut back our render area. So when we're working on the clip, we'll be simply working on it from this part forward. And it's going to save some time and it's good to get into that type of habit. We're going to go up to Layer, New, and we're going to select Null Object. And this is going to be our placeholder where the claws are going to be on. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to select Enter on the keyboard and just call it Tracker. So it'll be our tracker. And one thing I want to do is I want to select it. I'm going to zoom in. So I'm press Z on the keyboard, zoom in. And I'm going to select the tracker, obviously. And right here, you can see a little star, and that is where the anchor point is. And what I want to do is I want to bring that anchor point to around about in the middle of where the actual claws are going to be. Now, the next thing we're going to do is going to select. So first of all, I'm just going to jump out actually. And one thing with me, you'll notice I've got two freckles perfectly aligned, funny enough, on my right hand. Now, you may not have freckles like I do, and that's okay. You might be in a different hemisphere of the world, which doesn't have as much sunlight as Australia does, and that's okay as well. But if you want to move your hand around a lot more and want to motion track it, I suggest putting a dot with a Nico or a black texture, I think you guys call them, on the back of your hand so that you can use that for a tracking marker. And then you can obviously remove that in post. So on this one, I'm going to right click and select it. I'm going to select track motion. It's going to bring up our tracking point. I'm just going to zoom in. And what I want to do is over here on the tracker controls, I want to select position, which is already defaulted, and rotation. And that's going to give us two tracking points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the first one by selecting inside the box here. And you'll see it sort of gives us a magnifying glass effect. And I'll put that onto the freckle, and I'll put this one on the other one, like so. Now all I need to do is come down here and track forward. So let's press that now. Excellent. That was a really good track, obviously because I've already got those marks on my hands. Now that I've done that, the next thing we need to do is come down to Edit Target, select Edit Target, and I've already got the tracker layer has already automatically selected. That was the last layer that we added to our timeline. And I'm going to select OK on that and select Apply the Effect. And I'm going to apply the dimensions to X and Y and select OK. So there's our tracker. So if I come back to the beginning and just press the space bar, you'll see it moves nicely with my hand. And that's exactly what we want. So I'm just going to hide all the track movements, all the tracking keyframes on the timeline so we can't see them anymore. And then I'm going to bring back our claw again. And what we're going to do now is we're going to line up the claw by selecting it and moving into position. I'm going to press R for rotation and just rotate it slightly to around about there. So what will happen is when the fist comes up and stops, that's where I want to start my claw to be tracked. So I'm going to select the pick whip on the actual claw and attach it to the tracker, which is our null object that we've got there, which we've used to do the track data with. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to move and have a look, and you can see it's nicely tracked to my fist. So what I want to do now is I'm going to make it animate virtually, and I'm going to work backwards. So I'm going to work to where my fist comes up. So I'm going to just move this slider back so I can see to there. So that's the original mark. And what I want to do is I'm going to select my claw, and I'm going to bring up P for position and put a keyframe in, S for scale, and I'm going to put a keyframe in there also. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. And all I'm going to do now is just move my claws back and come down to scale and bring the scale down Okay, and what I'm going to do is just line it up. What I'm trying to do is line up the tips of the blade to where it's going to protrude out on my knuckles. So if I press the space bar now, I get that. Nice and simple. However, we need to actually hide it now behind my fist. So to do that, I'm just going to select the bottom layer or our video. I'm going to Control D to duplicate it and bring that up above the tracker. So now everything is hidden underneath the top video. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a mask now. So we're going to select the mask. Make sure Roto Bezier is selected because that's going to give a nice curve. If I turn it off, I'll show you. I'll turn it off. As default, you get nice, straight, jaggedy lines. It has no curvature to it. However, I'm just going to just delete that mask. If I select it, when I start to draw around my arm, which I'm going to do now, you can see it has a nice sweep to it. So it's got that nice curvature to it. So it's not a sharp edge as such. And that's the look that we're going for. And it's going to give it that nice natural look to our mask. So I'm going to go all the way down and just select that. So that's going to hide our mask, obviously, and straight away our claws appear. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select the toggle mask on and off so I can hide the mask. And this is what we've got at the moment. So let's have a look. So it comes out. Now it's not matching perfectly, so we're going to make some adjustments to that. All I need to do is I'm going to go down to mask and press MM, and that's going to bring up all the mask settings like so. I'm just going to go to feather. Now the other option, obviously, just press F on the keyboard and it brings up mask feather, and I'm going to feather that out now. So what I want to do is probably feather it out. I'm just going to go say about, in this example, around about 59. 60, around that amount should be fine. Actually, I might just cut it back just a little bit. Let's make it around 45. So what I've got at the moment, if I press the hard render on my keyboard, this is the look that we've got. What's interesting is we've got a very little bit of shake at the end, and that's because my hand's slightly shaking. I am 40 this year, so I'm getting old, everyone, so just so you know. But obviously, we can put blood in here if we want to. We could even put a displacement map to make it look like the blades are coming through the wrist. The only issue is there's so many tutorials on how to actually do this on YouTube at the moment. It's not funny. I'm not doing this just to show you how to create the effect perfectly. It's more so to show you how to actually use the effects pack. So that's my take on putting together the Wolverine claws in Adobe's After Effects. If you guys are using HitFilm or any other type of editing or composition program and you want to make a tutorial using this pack, let me know. I'm happy to let you guys do it as long as you give me a shout out and link up this video to where the download is. So I'm happy to do that. So that's doing our Wolverine claws as a quick run through and setting it up using the presets.
And that is how you do the Wolverine Weapons X Pack tutorial in Adobe's After Effects. If you want to become a Film Master subby, it's pretty simple. You can subscribe to the channel, you can like us on Facebook and on Twitter, and until next time, don't just film it, master it.
Here's last month's winner from lootcrate.com. If you are the winner, private message me by going to the About in my homepage, send a message, and put in the following details. Your name, postal address, shirt size in small, medium, or large. If you want to win a Loot Crate, which is a box full of geeky goodness, my gift to you for all of your support. Just like and comment on any video on this channel. A Loot Crate will be given away once a month, and make sure you're a subscriber so you don't miss out. Winners announced at the end of all new videos uploaded. To make sure you don't miss out, turn on the notification icon. Put a tick in the box to receive all notifications and select save. The more comments, the more chances you have to win. Good luck, and thanks for watching.